Good morning, sunshine. In today's video, I wanted to take you through a kind of intentional morning ritual that I like to do when I'm feeling particularly stressed or overwhelmed or anxious, which I definitely have been lately. It's a big part of why you haven't seen me around social media and YouTube as of recent. So my morning routine in this kind of situation usually consists of a few parts. There's a skincare, a reading, a fresh breakfast, tarot, and journaling, but feel free to omit or add whatever steps you find helpful for yourself when you really are trying to get some more self-care in. But for me, starting off with a really nutritious breakfast always gets this process started on the right foot. So usually it's a bowl of fruit. Here I have some kiwi, peaches, passion fruit, blood orange, just a little bit of everything. It just depends on my mood. But the goal here is something fresh and light. Side note, look at this really bananas, no pun intended, melon I found. But eating my breakfast while I sit down to read a book, usually something nonfiction and more often than not something by Brené Brown, is extremely helpful. If you've never read anything by Brené Brown, I highly recommend it if you need some help shifting your perspective and helping you to focus your energy on things that are meaningful to you. And we got to say hi to the puppies. That's Lily. Here's Herman, so majestic and handsome. And here we have Clover. And sitting here on the steps is Daisy Mae Elizabeth. Next, I'm going to make myself some tea. Whenever I'm feeling stressed and anxious, I definitely want to avoid a lot of caffeine. It exacerbates it so much for me. But I just wanted to quickly throw together a glass of green tea before I head into the bathroom and start my skincare. Welcome to my bathroom. First things first, turning on some music. Lately it's been Grimes. I'm kind of obsessed. I don't know what it is, but I just have been listening to her non-stop. I'm going to go ahead and do a little skincare routine, starting off with the Teamy Blends Superfood Cleanser. It's got all of these like crazy good natural ingredients in it, which I've been experimenting with more natural products lately. And this is something I'm super impressed with simply because it gets your skin super clean, but it doesn't dry it out even a little bit. Side note, I had to put this in the video because watch as I rinse my face off, how close I am to setting my hair on fire. Absolute nonsense. Next, we're going to do a mask. This is optional, of course, but because I kind of wanted to start my day off really pampering myself, I chose the Teamy Blends Detox Mask. It's the green tea blend with matcha, lemongrass, and clay. This is just a clay mask. It's meant to kind of deep clean those pores and really give your skin a nice fresh reset. And I'm applying it with a brush. I tend to apply all my masks with brush because it distributes your product really well and make sure you don't waste it. But since the tone of this video / ritual is to make sure that I am getting lots of self-care and TLC and kind of loving on myself extra hard, a face mask is just a super great way to set that intention. But like I said, you can skip this part if you want. I'll set my timer for 15 minutes and drink my tea while I wait for this bad boy to dry, and then I'm going to rinse it off. Once I've rinsed off my mask, I'm going to apply the Teamy Blend Soothe Oil. This has lavender, sage, and blue tansy in it. I am not usually the biggest fan of facial oils as a moisturizer alone, but one thing I love them for a lot is Gua Sha. I've been talking about Gua Sha and facial massage on my channel for a really long time, so at this moment, this oil is doing double duty. It is helping hydrate, moisturize my skin, and soothe it. My skin's usually very irritated because of all the retin A and vitamin A and kind of skin exfoliating agents that I use. So this is very soothing and calming, and it's an awesome oil to apply when you're doing Gua Sha. I'm just using a Gua Sha tool from Amazon that I got. I will link it down below. It works really well. And I just use this to kind of help move some lymphatic drainage around and, more importantly, ease some tension in my face. And that completes our glowy and relaxing skincare routine. Now let's do some makeup. So for my makeup today, this is the bare minimum of what I do. You guys ask me all the time to do like a no makeup routine or just a everyday makeup routine. This is really all it is. I put on some concealer where I feel like I need it, and then I blend it out with a beauty sponge of some kind. The point of this makeup today is just to kind of help me get my day started. And I find that when I maybe do my hair a little bit and throw on very minimal makeup, it kind of has a snowball effect because when I'm feeling stressed out or depressed or anxious, I have a tendency to kind of hide myself. Like, I just want to stay in bed. I don't want to move. I don't want to take action. So setting my day off of like putting my best face forward just helps me get that momentum going. And for the record, I'm just applying a generous amount of the Hollywood Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury and then setting it with her Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. Next, I'm going to run a little brow gel through my brows and I'll put some lip balm on. But back to what I was discussing, I feel like if I do little things like make sure I take a shower first thing in the morning, or at least change out of my pajamas whenever, especially during quarantine, that's been really difficult to do. It just kind of helps me feel like a sense of routine and kind of primes my brain to acknowledge this is a new day and a new opportunity. Obviously, morning routines are not this one size fits all magic trick to alleviate mental health struggle, but it is a great way to set yourself up for success and kind of start that domino effect of putting yourself first and getting and receiving the care that you need. After I apply the rest of my makeup, I'm going to throw this down and we're going to head into my bedroom where we can look at my tarot cards and talk about my tarot practice. So I get asked about my tarot cards all the time, especially on Instagram where I post them the most. You guys ask me about decks. I will tell you that the best deck I think you can start off with is this one. This is the Rider-Waite-Carroll deck. It's the one that all the other decks in the world are modeled after. If you're just getting into it and you want to learn from one that has pretty universal symbolism, that's where I would start. The next option that I would say that's super popular that a lot of people enjoy is the Wild Unknown Tarot. I like this one a lot and I've been using it for a couple of years. It's beautiful. The images are absolutely gorgeous and the illustrator or designer, I'm not sure which is the correct terminology, who made this deck has an archetype deck. There's another deck that she made. She has a Wild and Unknown journal. There's lots of cool elements to going this way if you kind of want to have a similar aesthetic or really familiarize yourself consistently with the same symbolism through and through your practice. Everyone's preference towards tarot decks is going to be different. Lately, the deck I've been loving and using is the Star Child Tarot. This designer, artist, again, I don't know which is the correct term, has several decks. There's a Moonchild Tarot. There's another one also of hers that I really like, but this is a beautiful deck. The actual edges of it are gold. It's stunning, and the imagery on the cards is done in a collage style, and I love the color choices. That's really what is going to make tarot something that works for you, is finding the art on the card that you can easily identify with, because that's what you're doing. You're looking at images on these cards to intuit messages. The cards read you, you don't read the cards. That's what they say. This is actually an oracle deck. Oracle decks are kind of like tarot decks, except with an oracle deck, you're usually getting like a simple message and they're all different. Tarot cards all have typically the same suits and numbers in it. Like some of them might have different symbols, but they all have the same kind of idea running through them. Oracle decks can be different depending on which one you buy. They rarely have the same types of cards and messages in them. But usually what I do when I'm having my practice is I do a simple 3-card tarot spread. And if I'm having some confusion or wanting to further clarify one of the cards in my spread, I will use an oracle card to do so, and then I usually meditate on what they tell me. Meditation is not always the easiest part of my practice. Some days it's just a massive chore, which is kind of a sign I need to do it even more. Stilling our minds and finding ways to be in the present moment is extremely helpful in calming and dealing with anxiety, so I highly recommend taking up a meditation practice. If meditation and tarot are the parts of my morning practice that I have the least amount of experience with, I mean, I've still been doing them for 2 years, so it's not brand new to me. Journaling is the one I have the most experience with. I have been journaling since I was in 4th grade. It's something I've always enjoyed. Lately, and I would say that would be in the past 3 years or so, my journaling has taken on more of an artistic expression for me. So sometimes I'll do bullet journaling, sometimes I'll do tarot journaling, sometimes I'll do do just kind of spreads about things I'm into, like this one, which is a spread I made about my Hogwarts house, which is Slytherin. And then I'll even take, this is an older journal. I just wanted to show you guys how long I've been doing this. I had this one from about 2017 to 2018. I'll kind of make stickers and decorate them and take washi tape and just make really cool little pages in there. It's just a chance for me to be artistic and get some creativity out. You know, I've said a lot that the beauty community has really been draining me. And I think it's because it doesn't allow me to be creative, and that is something I really need to do. So I find that journaling for me is incredibly therapeutic, and it's something I'm really doubling down on. What was I mad about that day, I wonder? It's something I'm really doubling down on and trying to get back into doing more frequently, because I find that when I do it, it really helps me clear my mind and see things for what they are and not for the catastrophic kind of warped view of reality that my anxiety can create. It's extremely helpful to me. And if I'm being honest, I hope you guys are interested in journaling, because I would love to talk about this more on my channel and do journals with me and flip throughs, because it's some of my favorite content to watch on YouTube personally. So let me know down below if you're interested. And that about wraps up that morning practice for me. Now, I did not include working out. Yoga is a big part of my morning practice as well. But like I said, we're all going to have different journeys, and I would love to know what yours is down below. This video was so fun to make. As always, I would like to say thank you to my patrons. You guys are amazing. We recently had a live stream where we got to talk about all kinds of things that have been on my heart and on my spirit. And I kind of consider my live stream patrons like a focus group. We all sit together and I tell them my fears and what I'm thinking on and kind of what I want to pursue. And they've really given me so much courage and belief in myself during this time, which, like I said, has been really rough. I think we've all been going through it. So thank you not only to the patrons for supporting me financially, but emotionally and spiritually. I really appreciate it. But I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Catch you in the next one.